Gender-based violence is one of the most common and persistent forms of human rights violation in the world. It is characterized by the use and abuse of physical, emotional, or financial power and control over victims, thereby deteriorating their health, dignity, confidence, and sovereignty. Using COVID-19 lockdown in Nigeria as a case study where victims had no choice but to be in the same space with their abusers. From battery to domestic violence on husbands or wife to child abuse, different cases were recorded. Gender-based violence over time remains masked in a culture of silence due to stigmatization from relatives and friends, thereby sending them further into isolation and additional violence. This discourages other survivors from disclosing it or seeking medical care, as most African culture places priority on protecting family honors and image over seeking justice for these heinous crimes. In Nigeria, traditional rulers have close proximity with the people of their communities and they get first-hand information about issues like this. To this end, the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency organized a roundtable discussion with them on the prevalence of sexual and gender-based violence on the 13th of October 2022 at the Protea Hotel, Ikeja, Lagos.
To deliberate on the prevalence of sexual and gender-based violence in our society.
According to the Executive Secretary, Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency, Titilola Vaivo Adeniyi, the agency recorded 4,860 cases in the last 1 year, and the purpose of the gathering is to further create awareness among the traditional rulers on sexual and gender-based violence and its implications. She urged community leaders to take proactive measures and join hands with the agency to help eradicate sexual and gender-based violence.
In the past 1 year, the agency recorded a total of 4,860 cases via our virtual referral and response service and our walk-in cases. We believe that sexual and gender-based violence on women, girls, and even men is critically heightened. In the context of preventing and ending sexual and gender-based violence, traditional rulers are one of the strategic groups that must be considered because Your Royal Majesties, the custodians of our culture, have access to different segments of the population, including those who are marginalized and harder to reach. It is therefore on that premise that we have deemed it expedient to engage our most esteemed Royal Highnesses here today, because we appreciate the powers that you wield, the influence that you have over your subjects, and we need you if we are going to win this war against domestic and sexual violence.
Resource persons took turns to discuss on the topics which expose the audience into relevant laws that regulate sexual and gender-based violence cases in Lagos State, understanding sexual and gender-based violence and stereotypes, review of customary law practices, and the role of traditional rulers in responding to sexual and gender-based violence.
Even our male children, our boy children are being molested sexually nowadays. So it's not a matter of only the female child anymore, but also the male child as well. So we are now saying that no to all this nonsense. We should try as much as possible to bring it down. And one of the reasons or ways to bring it down is punitive measures. It's for a government in any country to set down some laws that will say, no, we are not going to accept this within our community. And that's why you're here, to assist us, that in your communities, all these things, it should be the thing of the past.
Their authority is power. They are the representative of God, even in their localities. And whatever they pronounce, the people give it premium, credence, even than any other person. So, in fact, they are even the powerful instrument with which to address this matter. Because these people live with them, they know them, and they can trace them to their family line and have access to maybe the community people who can oversee such a person who has committed such crime. So they settle a lot of issues within their locality or within their domains.
Traditional rulers from the entire 5 divisions of Lagos State were present at the roundtable meeting.
It's a very good arrangement for the public to know what is happening in the Ministry of Justice. We are in an era where people take laws for granted. This type of workshop should not be ended today. I think we should spread it so that other stakeholders in the society will benefit from this.
To have this kind of training today, because Lagos State is really doing well, and part of what they are doing is what they are showcasing to us here, and to impart more knowledge on us so that we can go back to our various community and to achieve to educate them more. There are some cases we can treat in the palace, and there are some that are criminal, and that we don't have to harbor or indulge people that are doing violence or doing a lot of criminal activities. We have to expose them.
Well, this is the first, as I said. Subsequently, we're going to identify focal persons in the palace, in their communities that we will train, because these are people that will be handling these cases. We'll let them know that, you know, most importantly, the support services that exist. So we're expecting that after now, we'll have referrals from the traditional rulers. After now, the traditional rulers will go and cascade this information to their subjects, letting them know that it is no longer business as usual. You cannot eject your wife from the home. You cannot beat up your spouse. You cannot verbally, emotionally, or otherwise abuse your children. You know, we hope that at the end of this, we'll be able to put in machinery to prevent occurrence of sexual and gender-based violence in the first instance.
Lagos State's Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency is aimed at totally eradicating the menace of sexual and gender-based violence in the state.